This is the Platinum Plaisir fountain pen. It's got the same guts as the Preppy that I've got here, and the Proprietary, which I don't have. This is the highest priced of those three, but it's still affordable at less than $20. The Plaisir stands out with its metal body and comes in a number of colors, including metallic and some pastel finishes. I've got three of them here, in orange, black, and light blue. The Platinum Plaisir is unfortunately not available with the 02 extra fine nib you can get on the Platinum Preppy. It only comes with 03 and 05 nibs, which they call the fine and medium. The 02 is the extra fine. So both the 03 and 05, they write fine, but I do like that 02 nib specifically, and on the Preppy you pay just a little bit more to get that extra fine nib, and for some reason I think it writes a little better. You can use a wire cutter to cut the nib's tip off and then sand it down for a nice broad edge italic nib, and that's what I've done. That's what I use these Plaisirs for. And that's my preference. I don't know if that's normal, but they're distinctive, and I can grab one knowing that I've got my italic nibs here. There is no ink window on these pens, but it makes for a nice, clean look. They take cartridges or converters, and both are proprietary Platinum brand cartridges are the only ones that fit. Just like the Preppies, when you can see the spring-loaded cap mechanism that puts a nice seal around it, the Platinum Plaisirs, they've got one inside too. You can't see it, but it makes it and seals it up nice. So that's good that your ink won't dry out. You can leave it, as long as you leave it capped, you can stay there for a very long time, and it'll write right when you pick it up. One thing I've noticed about these pens is the cap doesn't snap on very well over time, it seems. I've had this blue one the longest, and the cap easily pops off. So if I were to store it somewhere a little loose where the cap could get knocked off a bit, it would easily come off and slide off, and then I'd get ink on stuff and the nib would dry out, and that's really bad because although these other ones have held up and I've had them for some time, so I'm not sure if it's like a quality control issue or if the cap snap mechanism simply has, over time, the friction wears it down and then it doesn't snap on well anymore. It comes kind of loose, and that can be a big problem. Comparable products would be, of course, the other Platinum ones in this range that you can swap the nibs out. You can change the you can change the grip section and switch them out. So that's kind of neat. You can do that if you got something broken or just want to mix and match a little bit. It's kind of fun to do. So definitely the Preppy, and of course the Proprietary, however you pronounce it, the other one that's from Platinum. But from another brand would be probably the Pilot Metropolitan, because it's also kind of a budget-ish pen that looks nice, and that's the thing about these Plaisirs, they look good. And so the Metropolitan, the Pilot Metropolitan, it also has a really nice look. It's available in countless colors and styles and patterns, and it also has a non-flex nib, just like these. It's simply for writing, not for too much of any line variation at all. But yes, the Metropolitan is a comparison, and so I would also say the Lamy Safari. Even though the Lamy Safari would be a little more premium, I guess, at least in price anyway, they do have swappable nibs where you can buy the italic ones, so you don't have to DIY them yourself, so you can swap all those nibs out among the Lamy Safaris, and they're kind of I'd compare them to those two, because they're a general purpose writing pen that looks nice and has its own style and kind of a standard go-to instrument. Overall, this is good if you like the look, if you want affordability, but you want to stay away from the clear plastic Preppy. Although it is, the preppies are great because they're so cheap, and I haven't had a problem with their caps. They snap on and stay nice and tight. So, yeah, as I said, I use mine for stub and italic writing, for Gothic type of calligraphy and all. But I would say that the best thing about these is that they write consistently and well, and although they don't flex at all, so don't expect line variation, but you can keep refilling it since it has the cartridge or the converter, and you can use it as your main pen for general writing if you're partial to it, as long as you like, and other than the possible cap issue, it won't let you down.